bodies move in 3 different planes. We have a sagittal plane, frontal plane, and transverse plane. The sagittal plane is moving forward and back, frontal plane is side to side, and the transverse plane is rotation. What I try to incorporate is doing a lot of transverse plane movement because that's one of the most important ones that's not fed by gravity. And what I mean by that is the sagittal plane and frontal plane are, due to the reactions coming up and down, fed by gravity. Transverse plane, usually as we get older, we lose that. And so I want to incorporate that as much as I can into the training. One of the things that's happened is your right knee is still dropping in. So in this position, keep your knees out. That'll help to keep the glutes fired. That right one's dropping in. So you're going to end up loading more on the left side than on the right side. Try to keep it somewhat symmetrical on both.
Tell me about, because again, we have a big guy who's getting pounded all season long. He's kind of a leaner guy.
Right.
He's not naturally kind of got all this protection.
Right.
How are you taking care of him?
We concentrate a lot more on just developing power and strength, flexibility, quickness, speed, all the things that he's going to need to do his job well. And it's been a really great balance for him. We also do soft tissue therapy a couple times a week. Right now we're dealing with a few different injuries that happen pretty much after every season. The first thing that we have to do is take care of injuries.
Right.
But at the same time, I know I only have a couple months with him,
right.
So I have to integrate the rehab process with his strength and conditioning in the most specific way.
You train professional athletes, male and female,
right.
and you train, the person who has a 9-to-5 job. Besides, kind of the levels, what is the most significant difference in training?
Someone that's has just a 9-to-5 job and has the family and has just the stresses of life.
Right.
They come in here more as a release, more than because they're trying to excel in their sport.
Right.
So half the time I'm just getting them to be in the moment and focus on what they're doing. So it's just a different challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the athletes go, they are much more committed, a little bit more goal-oriented,
right.
because they know what the stakes are. The stakes are a lot higher, but they really shouldn't be. I mean, it should be the same for everyone. It's your health that you're dealing with. So, but unfortunately, people take that for granted, and they shouldn't. But it's just the way that it is.
What have you learned about the training, like as far as your approach? Is it different in the last 4 years about your idea about training, now training this way?
I mean, if you take it even over a long period of time, when you're in high school, you think bench press and you think bicep curls, And, over the course of training and being a professional, I've found the importance of core training and just really getting my core solid and the impact that has on your body through the course of the game and different movements that you'll make. It's a priority with Adam and something that I've seen great improvements with over the last 4 years.
This really, though, ends up being your bread and butter that's supposed to hold you through your entire season. So everything you do with him, we were talking earlier, and he's saying, we got to kind of deal with if you have any ailments. So recover that and get you ready again to go back out and get beat up. I mean, that cycle, do you get better at that? Do you get that dialed in better each year, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of frustrating in that, every summer I feel like I'm in the best shape that I could possibly be in going into training camp. And I go into training camp and everything's great. And inevitably you're going to have some sort of an injury or some sort of period of time where you're going to get caught behind in your workouts. And then those things, you're playing, you don't get that opportunity. And you kind of feel like at the end of the season, while you're still in really good shape and able to play, you lose a lot of the things that, maybe you gained from the summer.
Right.
And then it's a matter of starting it over. So you just have to make a real conscious effort of fighting through the fatigue during the season and continuing to do the things